Welcome to today's episode of 3 Minutes with Jesus. In today's nugget, we'll be looking at the topic, how to find a good Christian man or woman to marry. Marriage is an honorable institution ordained by God. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2, God says, every woman should have their own spouse, and in doing so, immorality will have no opportunity to rear its ugly head. God has an appointed time for everyone, and once there is a marital delay, it can lead to discouragement with no prospective suitor in view. That is why your foundation in His Word is critical for you to connect to God-ordained spouse. Until you are ready in Christ, your God-ordained spouse will not be ready. Today we'll look at one nugget, which is have a heart for God. Charms are deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. If you have not practiced being a godly man or woman while single, it will be an uphill task for both parties. Developing your spiritual walk and personal character is something that should start long before thinking of meeting your ordained spouse. Until you serve the Lord in His house or join a service group joyfully, do not expect to get the blessings of service. Attending church service is not a service, but simply keeping in touch with God in church. Because Abraham Christian lifestyle. In Genesis chapter 24 verse 1 to the end, Abraham asked his oldest servant to go search a wife for his son Isaac. The servant went on a journey. In verse 12, he asked God to send him a godly wife for his master. In verse 15, before he was done asking, behold, a damsel, Rebekah, came out to fetch water. She gave him to drink and fed all the camel, just as he asked God. Are you living a godly life as a single? When I was ready to get married, my mother asked for a God-ordained spouse. Spent 3 days praying and fasting. He brought my husband from a far city to come and work in the same city. The same week, I got transferred. That made me to visit my best friend. While chatting, she told me of our spouse friend who was seeking for a God-fearing lady. We met briefly and parted away. Another faithful day, I was desperate to worship in the church. He was also desperate since he was visiting and staying in a hotel nearby. It was a perfect match, and we went to church together, and eventually we got married. Both of us had a heart for loving God. You can never miss it once you have a heart for God. We have come to the end of today's nugget. Till next week, share and subscribe. Remain blessed.